Hey, okay. So this is just going to be a lot of just random things. And I don't necessarily know why. I'm usually very strategic in what I talk about, but I feel like that just delays me. And I think I just want to just talk about just some things and just be as natural as possible, and whatever pops into my head, then to really just say it, because there has been a lot of things that I really want to talk about, but I always just like stop and then I just think about it. But then at the same time, it's like it pushes me back, because then I'm like overthinking it. And then it's like, okay, wait, let me not talk about it because this might come up, so I can just basically, I just contradict myself all the time, and it's super annoying. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's give it a go for like a month and just talk about the most randomest things, which really are somewhat random, but also things that are like really I'm going through, and I know a lot of other people are going through also. And I think right now, because this is what's the freshest on my mind, is more like when it comes to like work and things like that. Like, we all work our asses off, honestly. And it's gotten to the point to where it feels like no matter how hard we work, we're not getting like that gratification or the sustainability when it comes to our income, or when it comes to our purpose and self, part of being and things like that. And it's very stressful. Everybody's work is so stressful these days, because it's like there's so much demand, there's so much like pressure and all of these things that are a part of the working environment. And with that, it comes like, all right, well then can we get, more type of, income, like raises and all those things, as you're making me work like the job of 5 people, and I'm one person, and I'm supposed to be able to do all of these things and not pay me more. Like, when did I know that's always been a thing. However, it's been getting really out of hand, because if I can do like a job of 2 people, 3 people, cool. When you're talking about like 5 things, like, okay, that's a little bit too much. Okay, so that's like work environment. Let's not talk about that's not even talking about like consumers, like people who like come through your office or come to your job, like if you're in sales or retail, anything like that. That is so insane to me. I will say there I am working at a department store part-time, and I oddly enough enjoy it there. And I'm not exactly certain why I enjoy it, but I enjoy it. And I think honestly it's because I'm around like fashion and clothes and things that are nice, and that a lot of people really enjoy. And also it's like it helps me like create like I guess what you would say, a fantasy in my mind. Like, oh, if I could wear this is how I would wear it. Or if I could do all of these things, this is what I would wear. And it just creates like this illusion for me, and it's like an escapism, I guess. So it's kind of weird for me to say that, but that I've noticed that that's happened, or that came up yesterday, and why I really like it. And I don't like the people aspect, of course, because I am not a people person. Everybody's like, I don't know how you like will do really well with people. I think it's a natural thing, but when it comes to like people's emotions, it can be a little bit overwhelming. And especially when it comes to people who feel very entitled or who are just plain rude. I don't do well with those types of situations, and people, I do, but internally, like, I am just losing all hope for humanity. Anyways, when it comes to that, and like consumers and things, they're very disrespectful. They really don't care about how hard you're working. They don't care about what you're doing. They just care about themselves and what they want and what they need and XYZ. And that can be very hard on us altogether, especially when it comes to like retail. Like if you're there and you know, you're fixing up your table, you're all of these things, and everything is nice, putting everything back. That's a hard job on its own. And then you have like people coming in that they just messy people. Like people are so messy and disgusting. Like I don't even understand how people are still like able to do those kinds of things. You know, it's more like, okay, am I going to go to your home and mess up your laundry or your house? Or if I go to your job and like, do you want me to like leave coffee cups and coffee grinds and sugar and all of that stuff? Like, do you want me to leave that all over your desk and all over your coffee station? Like, no. So why would you go to another place and do that kind of stuff? Like, and then people have the audacity to say, oh, well, people just don't want to work anymore. Okay, really? But we're out there working our asses off and getting paid peanuts, but we don't want to work? You mean we just don't want to pick up your mess because you're an adult and you need to be held accountable for the dumbass stuff that you do. But yet we're supposed to sit there and we're supposed to clean up your mess? Okay, first of all, that we don't get paid enough for that. And second of all, you're a grown-ass fucking adult. If you want to sit here and say that we don't want to work, neither do you. You don't want to pick up after your own self. Isn't that like lesson 101, like what you teach your children? So if you teach your children that, why aren't you doing the same thing? That doesn't make any sense, right? And people who are probably going to sit here and be like, oh, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about, they need to stop and think about it, because then that means you're part of the problem. And us, like me, that sit here and talk about those things, we are the solution. The solution is you know what? If you are doing those kinds of things, we are going to call you out on it. And if you can't fix it, or if you have a problem with it, then that's not my problem. That is something that has to do with you. For me, I know what I am paid for. I know what I go to work for. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to pick up your coffee cups. And I'm not going to sit there and move the whatever I need to move because your husband or your child is tired of running around with you. So they sit there and then they drop whatever off of the table so they can sit their ass on that table. Do somebody go to your house and sit on your coffee table? I doubt that. So that is just one of the things that I really wanted to talk about right now, because that is what's freshest on my mind. Because yes, I did have a shift yesterday and that was just so annoying to me. And you know, oh, and if we can't tell anybody, oh hey, you know what, when they go into a dressing room, whatever you're not going to use, just go ahead and put it on the rack. They're like, what? Like, they're just so distraught and like befuddled on us telling them what to do. First of all, we are short-staffed. Everybody is short-staffed these days. And then you want to sit here and say, oh, you just don't want to work. Ugh, why are they not doing what they're paid for? There's only maybe 3 of us in a section. And there is lines of people at the register. And whenever people are looking for a certain item and we can't find it, why do you think that is? Because somebody couldn't follow the directions, because they say or they feel entitled to where they don't have to do anything, because we are the workers, we should be doing that. But yet there is only 3 of us on the floor. So what do we do? You know, sorry, we can't find it. You have to either get it shipped or whatever. They get really mad about that. However, there you go again. We're giving you solutions. Well, you're the one creating the problems. And you don't like the solutions we give you because they're inconvenient. Well, what do you know? If you would help us try to figure out a solution and work through the solutions, we wouldn't have these fucking problems. Anyways, that is just one bit of some of the things that I think about on a daily basis, because life is just not as we used to have it, and it's not what we would hope that life would have been like, especially mid-30s. So, especially for myself. So this is just a part of a rant or a banter or whatever the hell I'm doing here, and just talking about it, and hopefully this I don't know. Of course, a plane is gonna like fly over, which is very random. Anyways, so okay, I'm just gonna stop there for now, and there will be more things I will talk about, and especially when it comes to work, like environments, because I do a lot of different work things, and the environments are completely different. Anyways, okay, bye.